Welcome to Unshackled, a podcast for ambitious strivers who know that our lives and our time here are precious. We overcome the habits that bind us and boldly go after our dreams. I'm your host, Becca, and I've overcome my addictions and reinvented myself more than once, and I know how to help you do the same. If you're ready to up your game by ridding yourself of useless addictions, if you're ready to unshackle yourself, then you've come to the right place. Let's get to it. Welcome back and hello, welcome to the Unshackling. I am so excited. I really am. Every day I'm excited. And I would like to stir you up. That's why I came today. I want to stir you up. Is that possible? I hope so. Let me try. I take the challenge on. I accept the challenge of stirring you up. I'd like to tell you a story to get started on this stirring up mission. Until I was 52, actually we would have to say 54, I was a person who survived. That means that I did get through life. I had a lot of ups and downs, just like everybody, but I drank, and I drank pretty much all of my spare moments. And so I survived. It means that I didn't grow. I really didn't have friends because I allowed alcohol to isolate me. I was incredibly ashamed of my drinking. In my early 30s, I did manage to crawl out of a pit and go to college. And, you could see that I had the smarts there. I mean, I was able to go to college and fight through the alcohol. I drank all the way through college. I don't mean weekend parties. I mean isolated drinking, binge drinking. I was a mature student in my 30s, so I wasn't doing the college experience. I was just getting an education because I desperately wanted a life that was outside of the life I had been in, which was prostitution and stripping and drugs and alcohol. And I wanted to get out. And, all of this is in my upcoming book. And this is not the point of today's talk, but just a little bit of background there to get you to the, so that I can get you sparked up. I can get you stirred up. So my point is, surviving, going through life, and then I hit my early 50s and hit my bottom, end up in the hospital, end up in the treatment center, and finally get sober, get the alcohol out of my life. And then I thought okay, now I can just sit here and live my life. I'm sober. That's what I wanted. That's great. And for about the first year, that's exactly what I did. I just went to work and I was a sober person, and that's fine. And then about a year and a half into my sobriety, something started happening to me. And this is for you. This is the stir up for you. I didn't see it coming. I did not encourage it. I did not ask for it. It just started happening. Suddenly, I got ambitious. Suddenly, I wanted more. And I guess suddenly is the wrong word. It creeped up on me. I thought, wait a minute, hold on a second. These thoughts kept coming to me, and I don't know where they were coming from. I was like, you know what? This is like my life. I wonder what I could do with it. I had this job as a college professor. I still have it. I teach English. I teach English literature and writing. I have a beautiful marriage. It survived all that drinking. I have a cute little house in the forest in British Columbia in Canada. I have a loving husband. This is this really, really beautiful life that in many ways shouldn't have survived all that drinking, but did. And so why was I discontent? Why was I thinking, gee, what could I do with my life? That's a pretty good life. I have people say to me, you have a good life. And yet I'm like, wait a minute, what? I wonder. And I couldn't kill this thought that what could I do with this life of mine? And so it began. And I started looking, and I started wondering, and I started exploring. And the result, long story short, over about 3 years, I ended up training as a life coach and then as a sobriety coach. And then I learned how to podcast. And then I started writing. And long story, long story, long story, we end up here. My book is now, the manuscript is at the publishers and it's coming out. And this morning, I'll tell you what sparked all this for me to come and tell this story. This morning, I spoke with a friend of mine that we are dear, dear friends, but we're one of those relationships that we just love each other, but we only talk about, I don't know, 3 times a year. So we get together either on the phone or we go for a walk and we update each other. Well, the update I had for her was, last time was I was updating her on my coaching, and this time was, hey, my book's at the publisher. And she's like, you didn't even tell me you were writing a book. What is going on, Becca? And she said, it was her that said to me, it's like when you quit drinking, your life force woke up. It woke up and it's expressing itself. Because I even said to her, I don't know what's going on with me. I can't seem to stop. Because she's like, the last time I talked to you, you were launching this business and helping people, and now you're publishing a book? Like, what's next? I'm like, I don't know. Who knows what's next? I don't know what's next. It's like things are completely out of my control here. I'm just following my heart, I guess. I'm just following what comes next. By the way, there's a lot of prayer going on. I never hit record when I'm going to talk to you without first saying a prayer and asking, what do you need? How can I help you? And so I'm telling you this to say to you that you can't possibly know what's waiting to open up in you. What is waiting? What is your life force waiting to express? You can't know. And you know what? I literally had no clue. It wasn't like I was sitting there going, oh, gee, if only I could quit drinking, I could be a podcaster or I could help others. I wasn't. I just wanted to quit drinking because I was in so much pain, so much agony, so much shame, so much remorse, so much, you know the story. I mean, you know what it feels like, right? And so I did not have these ambitions. I never even had a clue that this would happen to me. Who knows what's waiting inside of you? Right now, you can't feel it. It's numb. But I want you to know that you'll never know if you don't give it a chance to grow and sprout. We are all of us God's children, and we were not put here for nothing. We were not put here to sit around and drinking. We were not put here to be mediocre. You have your role to play. I have my role to play. And if we're stunting that, if we're killing it with alcohol or other things, whatever it is, that's not fair. I mean, how is that fair? We're given this beautiful life and then we sit around killing it. I just want you to know today that you have no way of knowing what's waiting to be birthed in you, to be expressed through you. And I mean you. So if you've quit drinking, here's what I want to say. Keep going. Tackle what comes next. If you've replaced alcohol with something else, give that some thought, because we do that a lot. It's often sugar. Too much sugar will stunt us as well. It'll dull us. It's bad for us, right? We can't get the energy we need. It could be, it could be a long list of things. Is there something you've replaced alcohol with? Try and keep growing. If you've given up alcohol, what can you increase your exercise? Can you start learning more? What's the last book you read? Are you journaling your thoughts and hopes and dreams? If not, maybe they'll start to come through in your journal. Are you sharing with others? What type of growth do you have going on? Because I want to encourage you not to just quit drinking, but to grow. And if you're still drinking, I want to encourage you to consider quitting. I don't like how you say the words. Okay, I'll say the words. I want you to not only quit drinking, I want you to make a plan to quit drinking. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is always the way I advise giving up alcohol. Find your path. Find your path to freedom. I believe, after all of my experiences, after helping others, after all of it, I believe that the way to quit drinking is to find the path that you can. I was going to say that appeals to you, but to be honest, when you're stuck in the clutches of alcohol, none of these paths will particularly appeal to you. But find one that you think you can stand. And I get it, because I was there. I was like, none. I don't want to do any of that. Like, and for me, it was just leave me alone. I'll quit on my own. Don't talk to me. I'll hide in the closet and not drink and just stay away from me. That never worked. My point is, do have the courage to look around and find the path that you go, well, you know what? I know that this is going to just be a little bit uncomfortable. By the way, it's not as hard as you think. It's just starting is the hardest part. Find the path and then give it a chance. So I've said it before, is the 12-step program your path? Is it a coaching program? You can come join me and I will help you quit drinking. Maybe it's another coach. Maybe you need to go to your doctor and get a counselor. Maybe you need to go to a treatment center. Maybe you need to go to the I don't know, but I want to encourage you to go, okay, I'm going to find my path. I do know that it is highly, highly unlikely that the path that'll work is for you to just sit at home and do it by yourself. They say about 5% of the people can actually do that. It just doesn't work. And I am not one of those 5%. I failed over and over. I had to get help. I had to surrender and ask for help. I had to get the ego out of the way and enough humility. And I don't have a lot, let me tell you. I got a big ego. But I had to find it and say, I need help. It was the hardest thing I did. That was the hardest part of it, was starting. Okay, so if you're not drinking, are you growing? If you're drinking, what's your path to freedom? Start it today. Start it today, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Start it today, because you have no idea what is trying to express itself through you. You have a life force in you, and you were meant to do something. You might know what it is, you might not. It doesn't matter. Start at the beginning. You don't have to force it. You don't have to look for it. Just start today by giving up alcohol, or if you already have, looking around at how you can continue the growth, okay? All right, so I am so passionate about this. It's because I feel so good. When I come on here and I say I'm so excited, I mean it. And I want you to feel that as well. Okay, so let me get my plug in. The 15th and 16th of February, that's like this coming week. Depending on when you hear this, it might be over. But yeah, if you're hearing this now, that's coming up right away. I'm doing a boot camp. It's a 2-day boot camp. I'm going to give you the first 6 science-based secrets to happy, sober living. I'm going to give you the first 6 steps that I believe will get you started. Okay, so check the link below this episode, or the several of the episodes recently, and you can sign up. I'm also launching a brand new program called The Unshackling. And this is an experience in freedom. This program starts on the 17th. So the day after the boot camp, that's next Saturday if you're hearing this now. And it is going to be amazing. This is weekly small group coaching. I am not allowing this to grow too big because I want to know you. It's weekly small group coaching combined with daily support through text messaging, which is why I'm keeping it small. So you're going to get into a WhatsApp group. We might use Telegram. I haven't decided yet, depending on, anyway, it doesn't matter. So you've got, especially in the beginning, you have daily support. You can check in. And then the weekly group coaching, there will be homework. There will be accountability. This is it. This is me saying, okay, who's ready? I'm opening up a pathway for you. The link to this is also in the show notes here. If you're ready, let's get her done. I'm happy to help. I'd love to help you. And I know how to do it. Okay? I think I mentioned to you a few episodes back that I recently, I got my life coaching certification a couple of years ago, but I recently finished another program shoring up my education with neuro-linguistic programming certification, NLP. And if you haven't heard of that, you can just look it up. And also with hypnotherapy practitioner. So, a combination. This is not going to be hypnosis, but it sure helped me to understand the subconscious mind and how the human mind works. So it's incredibly helpful. It feels very helpful to me. Anyway, all right, let's stay on track. I hope I've lit a little spark in you today, because that's what I came here to do. I thought, let me go and see if I can spark somebody. You have a life force in you waiting to come out, and it needs out. I've already said it all. I'm not going to start repeating myself. Sending you tons of love. Thanks for popping in. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for popping in. Remember, unshackling happens one day, one moment, one choice at a time. Do me a favor, subscribe, share, and shoot me some feedback. Chat soon.